Okay, so we'll continue with Sim Shalom. So yesterday we started analyzing it with chassidic sources. We already finished the traditional sources. And we briefly mentioned that one of the things we want to achieve here, besides for wanting peace, which is the recipient to be able to really enjoy any bracha, and pursuing peace in between us and others, and in between others, is also to pursue peace between the physical and the spiritual as we will go out to the world to do a home for Hashem in this world. We also mentioned how this is related to the Sephir of Yesod. We explained that yesterday. So now we'll start analyzing phrase by phrase. So Sim Shalom, bestow peace. So now, after all the other brachas, all the other 18 brachas with all the other details, and as we explained, each bracha is, we're asking Hashem to send a flow of a certain divine energy, be it for parnasah, or for health, or for whatever it is. And now we're asking Hashem to bestow upon us a flow of peace. That as the Talmud, or really the last Mishnah of the whole Talmud, it's a part of the Mishnah that doesn't have a Gemara, explains clearly that peace is the appropriate recipient to receive other brachos. It's like if you don't have peace, whatever you're getting, you're not really enjoying. And let's read it inside.
Pirkei Avos is the one that doesn't have the Gemara.
There's a lot, but the Pirkei Avos as well doesn't have a Gemara. This is from Uktzin. Uktzin is the last Mishnah. Uktzin talks about handles, like if you have, for example, a fruit, and the fruit is impure, and you grab the little leaf as a handle to bring it up. Did you touch the fruit, and are you impure or not? Things of that nature. Super interesting, relevant things for today. No, not super relevant, but it's always Torah. But the Mishnah ends and says the following: Amar Rav Shimon ben Chalafta. Rav Shimon ben Chalafta said, "Lo matzah Kadosh Baruch Hu kli machazik bracha leIsrael, ela shalom." Hashem did not find a recipient or a vessel that can contain blessing for Israel except for peace. Peace is the only recipient that we can use to really be able to enjoy any type of bracha. Again, if you have a tremendous amount of parnasa, but you can't stand your wife and your kids, so are you really enjoying your money? Probably not. You can have a lot of health, but the same. If you don't have peace, you're not able to take advantage of any blessing that Hashem gives you. Be it da'at, as we start with chonen da'at, or teshuvah, or anything. So peace is the only vessel, according to Rav Shimon ben Chalafta, that is the appropriate vessel for peace. And it brings a pasuk, the famous pasuk, Shenemar, Hashem oz le'amo yiten, Hashem yavarech et amo b'shalom. Hashem will give strength unto His people. Hashem will bless His people with peace. Not strength, peace. Peace. That is the blessing. In fact, peace brings blessings even to people who are transgressors, so to speak, sinners, people who do not good things. I mean, technically all of us do some not good things here or there, no? Sometimes. But this is famous. Not so famous. There's an analysis, a chassidic analysis of the Tower of Babel, which you might have heard because I gave this class in Spanish. But the Tower of Babel, right? It's a famous story. People were gathered in Babel and they decided to build this huge tower. And there are different opinions of what they were trying to do, right? One is like we'll make a big tower so that the heavens don't fall on us again with the mabul. Or we'll make a big tower because we're going to fight against God. Or we're going to make a big tower so that if another mabul, another flood, diluvio, flood comes, we'll go up in the tower, we'll be okay. In any case, it was a tower that was trying to go against God, so to speak. It says, we're going to go against you. Okay. But what's the big problem? Why did Hashem have to cause such a big commotion with changing the languages and making them break up the tower in this way? He could have, I don't know, brought an earthquake or whatever. There's many ways Hashem could have destroyed the tower and give them the signals as people, please stop it. You want to build a tower, build it, but not for these reasons. But they explained that the people of the Tower of Babel had discovered a secret, a loophole in Hashem's Torah. What was the loophole? The loophole is,
Good morning.
Good morning. If we are at complete peace and harmony with each other, if we are absolutely working in a coordinated way together without any kind of fights, complete peace, Hashem has to bless us. And we won't even have to do any commandments. They figured out a loophole. If we're able to work in absolute unison, He's gonna have to give us whatever we want. And Hashem said, I cannot let them take advantage of this loophole. Yes, peace is the recipient for all blessings, and they were about to receive anything. So he had to break up the peace, which is what he did when he changed the languages, and they started talking to each other, and they couldn't understand each other. Some of them started killing each other. Boom, peace is gone, tower is gone, Babel is gone, and they were dispersed throughout, not the whole world, but through a certain part of the world. And so even transgressors can benefit from peace, and even transgressors like that. So for sure, us, we're not that bad. We do some bad things here or there. For sure, if we want blessings, we have to promote, pursue, follow peace.
But they were following peace. So
Yes.
First of all, what's wrong with the loophole if it's for peace? And why would Hashem not be happy that they were all unified in peace? I don't understand.
They were unified in peace to go against him.
And avoid mitzvah.
And it says, I don't want to do any mitzvah. I don't want to do anything for God, but because we'll have peace, He's going to have to give us. And he said, okay, that's true. But then it says, good luck with your peace. I'm going to change your languages. And what's the problem with the Jewish people? Since at least the year 70 of the Common Era, probably since before. Peace. We don't have any peace. We momentarily have peace when they're slaughtering us. But then we start fighting again. And you can, no, let's blame this side. No, let's blame that side. No, because the religious guys don't want to go to the military. No, because the non-religious guys, they don't respect Shabbat. And says, no, dude, it's on both sides. Both sides are not trying to achieve peace. It's hard. Why is it hard? Because Hashem made it hard. Because it's too powerful. It's not impossible, but it's hard. Right now, it seems like you want to slap me in the face. No?
No peace there.
I could feel it. No?
I never ever wanted.
I broke the ice. Baruch Hashem. And there are other stories not as extreme as this one about bad people receiving blessings because of peace. in general, you talk of mafias and gangs. They're not very peaceful with each other. They're ready to kill each other at a moment's notice. If they would have more peace, they would be more successful in their gang, whatever they're trying to do. Anyways, let's not give them ideas. Okay. All right. Okay. Barchenu avinu kulanu ke'echad. Bless us, Hashem. Oh, bless us, Father, all as one. And Tanya in chapter 32, the chapter Lev, Lamed Beis, which is the heart of Tanya, talks about the idea of unity within the Jewish people, peace within the Jewish people, and the fact that unity within the Jewish people is what causes all the divine blessings to flow. Because Hashem only wants to invest in a place with peace and harmony. If you're an investor, you see, oh, there's this company, it has great leaders, incredible minds. Just a problem. The CEO and the COO, we cannot have them in the same room. But they are great at what they do. Would you invest in that company? Says, yes, as long as you take one of these guys out. Or they make peace. How are you going to invest in a company where the leaders of the company cannot talk to each other? So it's not a good investment. So Hashem doesn't want to invest unless it's a place of peace and harmony. And the Baal Shem Tov explains that we're all the sons of Hashem. We're all Hashem's kids. And we said this yesterday, that a father is really happy when his kids are getting along, right? Not only when you have peace, but when your kids have peace within each other. That even promotes peace within the marriage. Kids start fighting, at some point the couple starts fighting. It's your fault that they're so bad. No, it's your fault. Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. The kids have peace, it helps the marriage also have peace. It's not a guarantee, but it helps. And so when Hashem sees us living in peace, he says, let's give them more. Look at these. What do you want? More. More blessing for you. And okay, now I wanted to say something else, but it's later. Okay. We also say, bless us, Father, all as one, in the light of your countenance, in the light of your face. No, panecha is face, but panecha also comes from pnimius. Pnimius, which is the internal part. Like when you can really connect with someone internally. And the reality is that us, Yidden, we can achieve a perfect union in between us because we are really one. When we say this famous phrase, Ve'ahavta lereacha kamocha, love your fellow as yourself. Yeah? It's a nice thing, but really, can I love you as myself? You're a nice guy, Mark, but I just met you a few months ago. And I think I love myself a little more.
I'll keep working on it.
No? Like a normal reaction is, okay, I can be nice to you, but I have to love you like I love myself? Really?
What are the words after Mocha? Isn't it Ani Hashem?
No, the famous phrase, could be.
So you just got to do it, right?
Okay, but we're trying to understand the logic. You're asking me, I'm a human being, to love my fellow as I love myself. Not your wife, or your kids, or your parents. Any Jew. There might be a nice Jew coming through that door now. He's going to come with a blue paper asking for tzedakah. I've never seen him in my life. And I have to love him right away not love him as I love myself. I mean, Pedro, anybody can love Pedro.
We all love Pedro.
Edmond Mechaviv, everybody can love Edmond Mechaviv.
Even when he doesn't respond to us.
But anybody? How can you really do that? As I love myself. The Torah is not like a poem. No, I know you write poetry, and you can exaggerate, right, when you write poetry. No, you didn't. You don't. A lot of poets exaggerate when they write poetry. But Hashem is not exaggerating when he's writing this in the Torah. How can you love your fellow like you love yourself? Because if you learn Tanya and you realize, number one, we all have one Father, so we're all brothers, but really we all have one source. And if you're able to look at life from the perspective of how you are from this source, if you're able to look at yourself not as a physical being with spiritual tendencies, but as a spiritual being with physical tendencies, if you can look primarily at life with your spiritual or divine glasses, you realize, I can love you as I love myself because you and I are already one. If I can put in my spiritual glasses and I look at your neshama and mine, it's not two things. It's already one. So if I love myself, I love you. Now, that is not easy, but at least it's feasible, logical. There's a guy coming through that door I've never seen, but if I have my spiritual glasses, I can see, he's just part of my neshama. And if I love myself, I love him too, because he is myself. Yeah?
Not easy to do.
Yeah, but it's easier than what I said before. Without this explanation, it just sounds like this pipe dream. What are you talking about? It's not easy, but it could be feasible. And now you can understand how someone, not only like for sure the Rebbe, but even many big chassidim, they would do anything for any Jew who've never met in their life. Okay, you help them, but to a certain point, no. Because if they have achieved a certain refinement in themselves, in their minds, in their way they see life, they can literally see any Jew and say, whatever he needs, I need. Whatever he's desperate from, I'm desperate from. There's no difference. I just met him, okay, but I didn't just meet him. He's part of me. And that's how you say, well, how could a Rebbe know that there was I'm not going to say the whole story because it's already, it's 4 minutes, okay, we have time. There's a famous story about a chassid in Australia who was sent to the western side of Australia, which is like middle of nowhere. Like Australia, the big cities are all in the east.
I think that's the Outback or something.
Could be that, yeah. I don't know how big is the outback, but yeah, on the west side, there's just like very sparsely populated area. No, have you been to Australia? You've been everywhere.
Many times.
You've been to the western part of Australia?
Just the east.
Just the east? Come on, David. We had so much hope for you. Okay. Anyways, he tells his shliach, go to this and this city or little place. He goes to that place, and he ends up finding, he's asking, is there a synagogue, is there a Jews here? And they point him, he ends up finding a little girl crying. And the little girl sees the rabbi and says, what is this? How are you here? And he says, the Lubavitcher Rebbe sent me. So she was struggling because her parents were going to send her to a religious, non-Jewish school, which she didn't want to go. And the moment she started crying about this, the Rebbe told one of his shluchim, go to this and this place. How did the Rebbe know? She didn't write him a letter, no WhatsApp. She didn't post on TikTok or Instagram herself their problem. But when you're a Rebbe, you're not only have these glasses, but you're already connected to the whole neshama, which is already one. And when you feel a need, you send help. So we're not expected to feel the need of someone who's on the other side of the world we've never heard of, but at least we're expected to try to look at our fellow and say, Mark, I love you. Or at least I'm trying.
Doing a good job.
I'm doing a good job. You're making me nervous. There's still 2 minutes. I can stand too and give the class standing. Okay, so this really explains how you can do V'ahavta l'recha kamocha. And just to finish, I won't say anything extra. Just to finish this idea, this also explains how they said that the whole Torah can be summarized, right? Hillel told a non-Jew who wanted to convert, the whole Torah can be summarized. What you don't want done to you, don't do to your fellow. Which basically, they explain it as V'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Love your fellow as yourself. That's the whole Torah says. Okay, if you divide the Torah in two, says there's the mitzvahs between a man and his fellow. Okay, those are covered by, if you love your fellow as yourself, you for sure fulfill all of those. And then there's the mitzvahs between you and Hashem. If I love my fellow Jew, how does that make me put on tefillin? Or do any mitzvah related to Hashem, not wear shatnez? But now that we explained that the only way that I can love my fellow as myself is if I change you have 2 glasses, it's perfect. You change your glasses to the spiritual glasses, and you see the spiritual as primary, the physical as secondary. That is the only way you can achieve loving your fellow as yourself. So if you achieve that, what do you have on your face? Glasses that give spiritual as primary. Of course you're going to do all the mitzvahs. Of course that summarizes all the mitzvahs. Of course that is the whole Torah. If you achieve that, you're going to see, oh look, mitzvah, I'm going to do that. Oh, that's pork? Lech. That's bad. I can see all the spiritual worms coming out of it. I don't want that. Cheeseburger? Ugh. I don't want that either. No? Lech. Bacon cheeseburger? Worse. But why? Because you put on these spiritual glasses. Of course, that summarizes the whole Torah. All right.